Dear students, welcome to the online class. Our topic is rights and duties of the citizens. You know, we are studying civics and community engagement, and in the definition of civics, we learned that civics is the relationship of a citizen to the state, and the role played by a good citizen in the state is studied by civics. And again, when we were studying the definition of the Constitution, we learned that Constitution is the supreme law of the state, and it gives the structure of the government in a particular state, as well as it describes the rights and duties of the citizens. So, rights and duties are very much important aspects of a modern day civic life. So, what are the rights of a citizen and what are the duties of a citizen? These rights and duties of the citizens are explained by the Constitution of any state, and likewise, the Constitution of Pakistan also explains the rights and duties of the citizens. In today's lecture, we will be focusing on the rights and duties of a citizen. The fundamental rights are the legitimate rights of a person living in a state, and these rights are acknowledged by the state. And such rights are recognized and protected by the state. These rights can be divided into some categories like moral rights and like legal rights. Moral rights are the rights which are relevant to the ethics and which cannot be enforced by law. But the legal rights, they are prescribed by the Constitution and some laws of the state, and they can be proclaimed by a citizen. And these legal rights can be divided into two sub-branches like civil rights and political rights. In civil rights, we can include the right to life, the right to liberty, the right to property, etc. And in political rights, we can include the right to vote, the right to participate in political affairs. At this moment, we may differentiate between the fundamental rights and the human rights. Fundamental rights are those which are explained by the Constitution, while the basic rights are the rights which may be included in the Constitution or which may be implemented by some international organization like United Nations or International Labour Organization, ILO, etc. Today we are studying the rights and duties, and let's discuss the rights and duties of the citizen of Pakistan as described by the Constitution. We know that the current Constitution of Pakistan was promulgated on the 14th August 1973, and it is the third and the current Constitution. And we also know that there are 280 articles in this Constitution. These 280 articles are further divided into 12 parts. And every part, again, is divided into some chapters, like a part may contain only one chapter, but some parts contain more than one chapter, like two chapters, three chapters, even four chapters. So 280 is the total number of articles. These articles are divided into part 1, that is part 2, and likewise part 3, and 4, 5, and 12. Part 1 of the Constitution is called introductory, and it has Article 1 to 6. It contains Article 1 to 6. And Part 2 of the Constitution is Part 2 of the Constitution is fundamental rights and principles of policy. It contains Article 7 to 40. The number of articles are... Okay, please give me a quick reply. What could be the actual number of articles in this part if they are running from 7 to 40? Is it 34? Yes, the number of articles in this part is 34. And this part is further divided into two chapters. But let's discuss part 1. Part 1 has 1 to 6 articles, and this title shows that it introduced the constitution and introduced the system in the state to the region. And among these 6 articles, we will be focusing only on 2, that is Article 1 and Article 5. Article 1 is about the name and territories of the state. The name of the state is Islamic Republic of Pakistan, according to Article 1. And it says that there shall be a federal republic called Islamic Republic. And it says that there shall be a federal republic called Islamic Republic of Pakistan. No, we are facing two terms. One is federal and the other is republic. We have already discussed these two terms, but let me revise it. Federal is a structure of government, or federation is such a state where there are two layers, two tiers of government exist. One at the center to manage particular affairs of the state, and the other at a unit or province to manage the remaining affairs of only that province. As far as Pakistan is a federal state, so we know that there is a government at Islamabad which is called central government and which is also called federal government. Sometimes that is called national government as well. And this government is responsible to manage some particular affairs related to the entire state, like defense of the state, like currency, like international affairs, like railway, like major mega projects, etc. Those things which are related to the entire states are given to the custody of the federal government. However, those subjects which are smaller in nature or which can be devolved to the provinces, they are given to the provincial government and provincial assembly. And this includes agriculture, health, primary and secondary education, irrigation, local government, etc. So Pakistan is a federal state, and there are two types of government. One based at Islamabad, and the other governments at Peshawar, Lahore, Quetta, and Karachi. Republic is a democratic setup. We have studied that a democratic setup can be either parliamentary or either presidential type. In order to understand republic, let's revise the two terms. One was head of the state and the other was head of the government. Head of the government in a democratic state is the chief executive, and he or she must be elected by the people. Unless and until the head of the government is not elected, such type of state cannot be a democratic. So head of the government should be elected. While head of the state can be elected, at times he may be nominated. So head of the state at times be elected. Sometimes he may be nominated or selected, or sometimes he or she, or we may use they may be head of the state by birth. If head of the state is elected, such type of head is called the president, and the state is known as a republic. And if head of the state is nominated or selected, such type of state is called dominion, and the title for such head of the state is Governor General. You know that when Pakistan came into being in August 1947, Pakistan had the status of dominion, and that is why Ayatollah Muhammad Ali Jinnah was the first Governor General of Pakistan. He was head of the state, but his title was Governor General because at that time Pakistan was a dominion. And another is one can be head of the state by by having a birth in some particular or royal family, and this head of the state is called king or queen, and this type of state is called constitutional monarchy. We learned that monarchy has two types. One was absolute monarchy, and the other was constitutional monarchy. Constitutional monarchy is a type of democracy as well. And here is head of the government in a Another is head of the government. In a parliamentary setup, head of the government is called prime minister, and in a presidential type of system, head of the government is called the president. But whatever the title may be, head of the government must be elected. And in a presidential system, head of the government is president, and head of the state is president as well. It means that one person holds both the positions. And therefore, if a system is presidential, such type of state must be republic. If we take few examples, like the head of the state of Australia is Governor General. Therefore, Australia is a dominion, and its head of the state is nominated or selected. King Charles III is the head of the state of United Kingdom, and that is why United Kingdom is a constitutional monarchy. The head of the state in Pakistan is called the president, and that is why Pakistan is a republic. In United States of America, there is a presidential system, and we know that president should be elected in a presidential system, and at the time he is head of the government and he is head of the state as well. So, United States is also a republic. Okay, after knowing the differences between these types of government, we are clear that Pakistan is a republic because head of the state in Pakistan is elected, though indirectly he or she is elected, but the position is filled by an elected person. And if head of the state is elected, it's called the president. So Pakistan is Islamic Republic, and Islamic means that the laws in Pakistan would be in accordance to Quran and Sunnah. The next part of Article 1 explains the territories, and it is very easy. Pakistan is composed of 4 provinces, you know the names, like Sindh, Balochistan, the Punjab, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Keep in mind the spellings of Sindh contains H at the end. Balochistan must be written by O, B-A-L-O, Balochistan, not by U. And Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, we know that earlier its name was Northwest Frontier Province, but in 2010 its name was changed to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. It is better to write the complete name of the province in official documents, and sometimes we may use its acronym as KP. The acronym of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is KP. This is correct. Some people mistakenly write it KPK, which is not a correct one. Another part of Article 1 says that other places can be declared to be the part of Pakistan. And for this, the Parliament of Pakistan, which is called Majlis-e-Shura, shall make necessary arrangements. So, according to this, Pakistan is the Islamic Republic. It has 4 provinces, and Islamabad is the capital territory, and any other place can be declared to be a part of Pakistan. Here it is important to discuss that some people believe that Gilgit-Baltistan may be the province of Pakistan. No, according to the constitution, Pakistan has 4 provinces, and GB is not the constitutional part of Pakistan. GB and AJK as well, they are though controlled by Pakistan, but they are not the constitutional part of Pakistan. Hopefully, you people would have learned about the Article 1. Now, let's discuss Article 5. Article 5 is very easy and very simple. Its title is Loyalty to the State and Obedience to the Constitution and Laws. Actually, this article explains the duties of every citizen of Pakistan. The duties are loyalty to the state. Every citizen should be loyal to the state. And a citizen, whether he is in the country or outside the country, he or she or they should be loyal to the state and obedient to the constitution and law. So every citizen, whether in the state or outside the state, should obey the constitution and law and shall loyal to the state. And another aspect of the constitution that even a foreigner who is in Pakistan for a time being must obey the laws of Pakistan. Suppose a foreigner in the shape of a diplomat, in the shape of a tourist, or in the shape of a trader, etc. He is in Pakistan. So as far as he is present in Pakistan, he should be obeying the laws of Pakistan. In short, Article 5 describes the duties of the citizen. After knowing Article 5, now let's discuss the fundamental rights of the citizen. Part 2 of the Constitution is fundamental rights and principles of policy. And actually, these are the two chapters of the Part 2. Chapter 1 is fundamental rights, and Chapter 2 is the principles of policy. And there is a difference between the two chapters. Fundamental rights which we are going to study are the rights which are granted by the state to its citizens, and these rights must be given to the citizens. And somehow, if they are not given to the citizen, a citizen can knock the door of the court for getting these rights. On the other side, principles of policy are somehow some golden principles or some promises of the state that the state and the government will try to achieve these principles. However, if the government is not able to achieve these principles fully, the government would not be blamed by the people, and the people may not be knocking the door of the court for it. So, the fundamental rights are something which must be given to the citizens, and principles of the policy is a hope or is a promise that can be fulfilled or may be fulfilled or may not be fulfilled. Fundamental rights are from 8 to 28. However, there is Article 7 as well. Article 7 describes the state. It contains the definition of state. According to this definition, state is a federal or provincial government, and state is a federal parliament. You know, federal parliament is called Majlis Shura, and it is bicameral, and it has two houses. Upper house is Senate, lower house is National Assembly. So the federal parliament and provincial parliament and the federal government and provincial government, they are the state. And any other authority which has the right to impose taxes, etc., this is a part of the state, according to this article. Article 8 to 28 actually describe the fundamental rights. Article 8 says that no law in Pakistan shall be promulgated which is against the fundamental rights discussed in the Constitution or any other law. This article further says that if there exists any law which is against the fundamental rights, that law would be considered null and void. इसका मतलब ये है कि फंडामेंटल राइट्स के खिलाफ कोई कानून नहीं बनेगा पाकिस्तान में, और अगर कोई साबिका कानून जो इससे पहले बन चुका है, अगर उसमें पता चला कि वो किसी बुनियादी हक के मुखालिफ है, तो उस कानून को भी कैंसिल किया जाएगा. Here we must keep in mind that the fundamental rights provided by the Constitution are not absolute. They have limitations. Absolute means that the right which can be proclaimed every time and for all time and by all people. And limitations mean that there are some ifs and buts with each and every fundamental right. So we would be knowing that there are rights, and these rights can be restricted at times, especially by some law, etc. And we must keep in mind that there is a provision in the Constitution under which the President of Pakistan can proclaim emergency in the country. And when emergency is declared due to some reason, the fundamental rights are suspended, and during the period of emergency, these rights cannot be proclaimed. Okay, continue our journey. Article 9 is about that no person shall be deprived of life and liberty except in accordance to law. It means that every person has the right to live his life, but it can be restricted in accordance to law. If some crime is committed by such person, his life can be restricted, or he can be detained, or he can be put behind the bars as well. Next is Article 9A. 9A says that every person is entitled to clean and green environment. Here we must keep in mind that some of the articles in the Constitution, they contains two parts, like Article 9, which has two parts in shape of 9 and 9A. Another is 10 and 10A. Another is 19 and 19A. The last one is 25 and 25A. These articles in shape of A has been added with the passage of time when the need was felt for them. So these rights were not granted back in 1973, rather they were added later on. 9A is that every person is entitled to a green, healthy, and sustainable environment. Article 10 says that if somebody is arrested or he or she is detained, such a person should be produced before a magistrate within 24 hours. Article 10A further says that every person is entitled to have fair trial. Article 11 says that slavery and forced labor is prohibited in Pakistan. While Article 12 says that no person can be punished for a crime which was not punishable at the time of the act. इसका मतलब ये है कि एक शख्स ने सपोज कल कोई काम किया था और उस वक्त वो कानून की नज़र में जुर्म नहीं था, और आज ये कानून बन गया जिसकी नज़र में वो काम जुर्म ठहरा, लेकिन उस शख्स को सजा इसलिए नहीं दी जाएगी कि उसके कल का किया हुआ काम आज जुर्म बन गया है। मिसाल के तौर से 2025 से पहले पाकिस्तान में सोशल मीडिया के कवानीन इतने सख्त नहीं थे, तो 2025 से पहले जो सोशल मीडिया के वो हुए हैं वायलेशन, उस पर कोई सजा नहीं हो सकती। हाँ, अलबत्ता जब जनवरी 2025 में मजीद कवानीन बने और सख्त कवानीन बने, तो उसके बाद सोशल मीडिया पे किए जाने वाले बहुत से मनफी काम जो है वो अब जुर्म के ज़िम्मे में आते हैं। Article 30, no person shall be punished twice for a same crime. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि एक जुर्म पे एक ही बार सजा हो सकती है, एक से ज्यादा बार सजा नहीं हो सकती। अगला आर्टिकल, that is Article 14, it says that dignity of man would be protected. Here, man means male and female both, like all the citizens of Pakistan. Article 15, right to move freely throughout the country. Article 16, the right to assemble peacefully. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि पुरअमन एहतजाज हर शहरी का बुनियादी हक है। हाँ, अगर कानून उसको रोके ना, बाद दफा कवानीन इस तरह नाफिज हो जाते हैं जिसके तहत इज्तिमा पे पाबंदी लगा दी जाती है, या किसी खास मकाम पर या किसी खास दिनों में इज्तिमाआत पर पाबंदी लग जाती है। तो अगर कानून नाफिज है तो फिर तो इज्तिमा नहीं हो सकती, लेकिन अगर कोई ऐसा कानून नहीं है तो फिर पुरअमन एहतजाज या पुरअमन इज्तिमा, किसी भी किस्म का इज्तिमा, सियासी इज्तिमा या कोई मजहबी इज्तिमा या कोई सोशल गैदरिंग, कोई भी गैदरिंग हो सकती है। Article 17 says that every citizen has the right to association, यानी कि वो किसी तंजीम में या सियासी पार्टी में शामिल हो सकता है। लेकिन मैंने जिस तरह आपको बताया था कि हर आर्टिकल के साथ कुछ शराइत भी हैं, तो इसमें भी ये शर्त है कि सियासी पार्टी में शामिल होने वाला शख्स सरकारी मुलाजिम ना हो। Article 18 is about a profession or a job or a business, and these jobs and professions shall be lawful and legal. Article 19 gives every citizen the right of expression, freedom of expression, and it is a very important right, which is under 19A, the right to information, and there is a Right to Information Act promulgated by the Provincial Assembly of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and one can get information from any public office under this Article 19A or under the RTI Act of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, unless and until that particular information is declared secret by law. Article 20 is that every citizen has the right to profess or practice any religion. Article 21, no person shall be compelled to pay any special tax to be spent on the propagation or maintenance of any religion other than his own. यानी किसी ऐसे शख्स को टैक्स देने पर मजबूर नहीं किया जाएगा जो रकम उस शख्स के मजहब के अलावा किसी दूसरे मजहब के फलाह व बहबूद पे खर्च हो। Article 22, no person would be compelled to be involved in a religious education, ceremony, worship that is not relating to the religion of that person. किसी शख्स को उसके मजहब के अलावा किसी दूसरे मजहब की तालीमात नहीं दी जाएगी। हम जानते हैं कि इन पाकिस्तान एथिक्स जो हैं वो पढ़ाए जाते हैं अक़लियत से जो ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं, आई मीन जो गैर मुसलमान हैं, उनको इस्लामिक स्टडीज़ की जगह एथिक्स का सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाया जाता है और वो इस आर्टिकल के तहत है। आर्टिकल 23 ये कहता है कि एवरी पर्सन हैज द राइट टू एक्वायर प्रॉपर्टी एवरीवेयर इन पाकिस्तान। Article 24, no person can be deprived of his property save in accordance with law. Article 25, all citizens are equal before law. Article 25A, which is very much important, it says that there shall be free and compulsory education for all children aged 5 to 16. Article 26, there shall be no discrimination against the citizen on the basis of religion, or the basis of ethnicity, or language, etc. Article 27 is describing the same thing, that no person shall be deprived of job on the basis of any religion or ethnicity, etc. Article 28, it is safeguarding the protection of religious scripture, language, or culture of the people. Dear students, these are the fundamental rights listed in the Constitution of Pakistan. Thank you.